What if the idea of Wi-Fi was not born in our time at all? What if thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations already knew how to connect, not through wires or devices, but through light, sound, and the pulse of human intention? How did they do it? And how much of that forgotten network still echoes within us today? Thousands of years before the first wireless signal ever crossed the sky, in every corner of the ancient world, people built networks of light and sound to exchange knowledge, coordinate empires, and move information faster than ever before. 5,000 years ago, in ancient China, towers were built along the Great Wall, each one close enough to see the next. When danger appeared, soldiers lit fires or released smoke, and within hours, the message had crossed hundreds of miles. Smoke by day, fire by night, the first long-distance alert system, powered only by light and coordination. It was the world's earliest form of wireless communication, needing no machines, only eyes on the horizon. Nearly 2,500 years ago, in Greece, sunlight became a message. Polished bronze shields reflected sunlight from hilltop to hilltop, sending silent flashes between cities. At night, the same messages were sent through lanterns and beacon fires, an ancient version of Morse code written in light. They had built the world's first optical network, communication that traveled not through sound or touch, but through sight itself. But the ancients went beyond light and fire. They discovered another invisible force: sound. In ancient Greece, amphitheaters were designed with such precision that a single voice from the stage could be heard clearly in the last row, without any amplification. The architecture itself carried the sound, every stone carefully placed to form a living network that transmitted messages through air, space, and geometry. Across the African forests, nearly 3,000 years ago, tribes spoke through drums. Every beat was a code, understood by those who listened. A drum beat could announce births, deaths, wars, or celebrations. The drums did not just communicate, they connected entire tribes into one heartbeat. Meanwhile, across the Mediterranean, the mystery of sound deepened. Some ancient temples were built with near-perfect acoustic precision. For example, the hypogeum of Malta amplifies certain frequencies that vibrate through the human body itself. Chants in these chambers could carry for miles, felt as much as heard. To some, it was spiritual. To others, it was science, an understanding of how vibration connects everything in the universe. Sound was not just heard, it was experienced. And far to the east, in ancient India nearly 5,000 years ago, sacred chants known as mantras were more than prayer. They were frequencies, tuned to align the mind with the universe. Priests believed words carried power, that collective sound could reach the divine, or even another person's consciousness. Perhaps that was their version of Wi-Fi, the mind itself tuned to specific vibrations. Modern research now shows what they may have sensed all along. When two people meditate together, their brainwaves can synchronize. Neural rhythms align, as if communication happens beyond words. Could that explain ancient tales of telepathy, or prophets who heard voices without sound? But not every message needed sound. Some were carved, painted, or performed. Ancient builders found a way to make stone come alive, to make their temples and pyramids vibrate with energy, connecting them across great distances. All across the world, in Egypt, Mexico, and Peru, massive pyramids rise from the earth with astonishing precision. Built thousands of years apart, yet sharing the same mathematical perfection. Some researchers believe these pyramids might have been part of a vast energetic network, an ancient system built to harness and transmit the Earth's own vibrations. Each structure, aligned precisely with stars and magnetic fields, may have acted like a tuning fork, amplifying energy and perhaps even communicating across great distances. Maybe they were designed to communicate with one another, not through wires but through vibration itself, using sound and energy as their hidden language. But the ancients didn't stop there. They built entire systems where messages traveled through footsteps, feathers, and faith. It began in ancient Persia, over 2,500 years ago. The kings built one of the world's first postal systems. It was called the Royal Road. Messages moved from one horseman to another, racing across the empire faster than anyone thought possible. Centuries later, the Romans improved this idea, creating their own version. They named it the cursus publicus. They expanded the network with even more roads, stations, and couriers, making it one of the most advanced postal systems of the ancient world. Together, these systems became the backbone of connection across continents, a human-powered web that kept entire empires alive. But not every message rode on horseback. In India and Egypt, tiny wings carried great secrets. Pigeons became the sky's messengers. They could fly through storms, over cities, and across battlefields, always finding their way home. They delivered coded messages when roads were blocked and wars were raging. For centuries, pigeons were the world's fastest messengers, nature's own wireless signal. The Egyptians filled their temples with symbols that told stories without words. Each picture, a hand, an eye, a sun, carried meaning that only those who knew the code could understand. Across the ocean, the Mayans and the people of the Indus Valley did the same. Their scripts were more than writing. They were systems of shared knowledge, passed down through generations. Even gestures spoke their own language. A raised hand, a pattern in a dance, the movement of a priest. Each carried messages of faith, warning, or unity. It was a world where communication was not just spoken, it was lived. Written in art, carved in stone, and remembered in motion. Together, all these forms, the roads, the birds, the symbols, the gestures, created something incredible. A human-made web of connection long before the first wire was ever laid. They proved that real communication does not begin with technology. It begins with purpose and the simple need to reach another soul. For thousands of years, humanity has tried to close the distance between us. Maybe after a few years we will discover new ways to communicate, or even move at the speed of light itself. But one truth will never change. Even in our modern age, we still follow the same patterns the ancients set in motion. The timeless rhythm of connection. Today, we've replaced their smoke with signals and drums with data. We've turned their flames into screens and ancient rhythms into digital pulses. Our messages now travel through invisible waves that circle the planet. Yet at the heart of it all, we are still doing what they once did, using the unseen to stay connected. Because when you look at their networks, you realize something profound. They were never trying to create technology. They were trying to create understanding. That's the real Wi-Fi, the connection between minds and souls across distance and time. A signal that's never stopped traveling. As Plato once said, "The soul of man is immortal and of the universe. It is connected by invisible bonds that none can break." Maybe those invisible bonds were their version of connection, their Wi-Fi, the invisible thread linking every human mind, every living thing. So next time you connect to Wi-Fi and see those tiny lights flicker in the dark, remember, you are not just linking to the internet, you are connecting with an ancient signal, a story written in fire, rhythm, and the pulse of human souls. The first Wi-Fi was not digital, it was human, and its signal never stopped. See you in the next chapter.